There is a compound hiding inside a fruit you probably ate this week. It dissolves termite exoskeletons on contact. It costs less than $5. It has been proven effective since 1948. The pest control industry generates $6 billion annually selling you synthetic chemicals. Meanwhile, this compound sits in landfills by the millions of tons. And in the next few minutes, you will learn the precise technique that threatens their entire business model. Welcome back to Gardening Explained with Harry. Click that subscribe button. Now let us begin. Termites cause more structural damage in the United States than fires, floods, and earthquakes combined. Read that again. More than house fires, more than flooding, more than seismic events. Every single year, American homeowners spend over $5 billion on termite control and damage repairs. Globally, these insects cause over $40 billion in destruction annually. 600,000 homes are attacked each year in America alone. The average homeowner who discovers termite damage spends $3,000 just on repairs. Treatment costs another $1,000 to $3,000 on top of that. Here is the fact that should make you furious. Most homeowner insurance policies do not cover termite damage. They classify it as preventable maintenance, so you pay for the insurance, you pay for the damage, you pay for the treatment, and the pest control industry collects on every single step. The termite control market reached nearly $6 billion in 2025. It clusters around a handful of massive corporations. Rentokil Initial acquired Terminix to form a $10 billion revenue powerhouse. These companies now bundle real-time monitoring systems with annual barrier renewals and warranty coverage. Insurers increasingly withhold coverage unless homeowners submit proof of scheduled inspections. The business model depends on one thing: recurring revenue, annual contracts, quarterly visits, service fees that never end. But there is something the industry does not advertise, something they have known about for nearly 80 years. A compound that kills termites on contact, costs pennies per application, and cannot be controlled by any corporation because it comes from fruit waste. The history of this treatment dates back several decades. It was initially recognized for its effectiveness in the 1940s. University researchers in California began testing it against various wood-destroying insects. By 1948, the Environmental Protection Agency officially registered it as an insecticide. In regions where citrus fruits are abundant, treatments using this compound were adopted due to local availability and natural efficacy. Over time, as awareness about environmental impacts of chemical treatments increased, interest in this natural solution grew. But that interest never translated into mainstream awareness, and the reason is simple: economics. This compound cannot be patented. It is a natural extract. No pharmaceutical company can own it. No chemical manufacturer can create a proprietary version. No corporation can generate repeat revenue from something you can buy once at a hardware store and use forever. Research funding flows to patentable synthetic termiticides because patents create profit margins. What cannot be owned cannot be marketed. What cannot be marketed does not enter public consciousness. The pattern is identical to what happened with other natural alternatives. The industry does not ban alternatives. It simply never mentions them. Professional licensing frameworks were built around synthetic chemicals. Natural alternatives got swept into the same regulatory net. The result is a system where homeowners never learn about options that would eliminate the need for annual service contracts. A solution that requires no recurring visits cannot sustain a business model built on recurring visits. A treatment that costs $5 cannot compete with marketing budgets funded by $3,000 service calls. So the information stayed buried, not through conspiracy, through economics. The compound is D-limonene. It is extracted from orange peels. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, oil from citrus peel contains approximately 92% D-limonene. This concentration makes it one of the most potent natural insecticides ever identified. The orange peel is the waste product with the highest volume in the citrus industry. Approximately 20% of every orange is peel. Global estimates suggest over 15 million metric tons of orange peel waste were generated in 2018 alone. The citrus industry produces approximately 158 million tons of fruit annually. Peels constitute nearly half of this mass. 70% of harvested orange production ends up in processing facilities. Half of that orange mass is extracted as waste. That means over 14 million metric tons of orange peel waste worldwide every single year. A termite-killing compound sits rotting in landfills while homeowners pay thousands for synthetic chemicals manufactured in laboratories. Laboratory research confirms the lethal effectiveness of D-limonene against termites. In controlled experiments conducted by the Department of Agriculture, 96% of termites were killed within 5 days when orange oil extract at 5 parts per million was applied from above. When applied from below, 68% mortality occurred within the same time frame. Dr. Rudolph H. Sheffrin at the University of Florida conducted field studies that revealed even more dramatic results. Termite colony members treated with 95% D-limonene yielded mortalities ranging from 47 to 100%. The total mean mortality across all trials was 97.4%. Reyna and colleagues published findings in 2007 confirming that D-limonene killed Formosan subterranean termites through both fumigant and contact actions. The Formosan termite is the most aggressive species on the planet. Colonies can exceed 1 million individuals. They consume a pound of wood per day. These are the termites that devastated New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina, causing hundreds of millions in additional structural damage. University researchers proved that orange oil kills them. The mechanism of action explains why this compound is so devastatingly effective. D-limonene attacks termites through multiple pathways simultaneously. First, it disrupts octopaminergic receptors in the insect nervous system. Octopamine functions like adrenaline in insects. When D-limonene blocks these receptors, the termite nervous system crashes. Second, it dissolves the waxy lipid layer on termite exoskeletons. This protective coating keeps moisture inside the insect body. When the wax dissolves, rapid dehydration follows. Death occurs within minutes of contact. Third, at higher concentrations, D-limonene acts as a lethal fumigant. The vapor alone is lethal. When termites come into contact with treated wood or breathe the fumes, cell membranes break down. The respiratory system fails. Dehydration accelerates. Here is the critical detail that makes D-limonene superior to synthetic alternatives. Termites cannot develop resistance ever. The compound targets octopamine receptors that exist only in invertebrates. This mechanism of selectivity is absolute. Mammals do not have octopamine receptors. The pathway simply does not exist in human biology. This means D-limonene is toxic to insects while remaining remarkably safe for humans, dogs, and most household pets. The Environmental Protection Agency classified D-limonene as having relatively low acute toxicity when taken orally. It is not considered a human carcinogen. It is not a developmental toxicant. It is not mutagenic. For comparison, the common organophosphate malathion has an oral toxicity threshold of approximately 1,375 milligrams per kilogram. D-limonene is roughly 3 to 4 times less acutely toxic than one of the mildest conventional insecticides on the market. It is less dangerous to mammals than table salt. The compound is used in food flavoring. It appears in household cleaners. Pet shampoos contain it. You have consumed products with D-limonene hundreds of times without knowing. Another remarkable property sets orange oil apart from every synthetic termiticide. It wicks through wood. When injected into termite galleries, D-limonene travels through the porous cells of wooden structures in all directions. It defies gravity. It spreads through beams and joists without requiring additional applications. The compound kills termites and their eggs on contact. If a termite avoids direct physical contact, it can still die from consuming wood that has been recently treated. D-limonene holds EPA 25B exempt status. This classifies it as a minimum risk pesticide. It is considered safe around dogs and children when used as directed. You can purchase pure D-limonene or orange oil extract at hardware stores across the country. Online retailers stock it. Agricultural supply companies carry it. Look for concentrations of 95% or higher. The cost is a fraction of professional treatments, making it inexpensive. For drywood termites, direct injection of concentrated D-limonene into infested wood offers targeted elimination without structural damage. Once areas of termite activity are identified, drill small holes into the affected wood. Inject orange oil into these holes. The compound spreads throughout wood beams via capillary action, reaching galleries and nesting sites that would otherwise require tearing open walls. This is a targeted approach. For subterranean termites, create a soil drench using a 5% solution. Dig a shallow trench around foundation walls. Apply the diluted orange oil to create a barrier. Termites attempting to cross the treated soil absorb the compound through their exoskeletons. This creates a lasting barrier. Focus application on exposed wood in crawl spaces, attics, basements, and garages. Pay special attention to sill plates, rim boards, and joists. Target areas where plumbing or electrical conduits penetrate wood framing. These gaps are highways for termite entry. A light application to these access points creates a protective barrier. Studies indicate that orange oil effectively eliminates drywood termite colonies when applied correctly. Furthermore, it serves as a preventative measure. The lasting presence of D-limonene discourages new infestations. Termites detect the compound and avoid treated wood entirely. Effective prevention reduces the need for large-scale treatments. One homeowner in Georgia placed orange oil treatments around his crawl space in March. By June, his annual inspection showed zero termite activity for the first time in 7 years. His total cost was under $8. Safety precautions are straightforward. Wear gloves when handling concentrated orange oil. Work in well-ventilated areas. One important exception involves cats. Felines lack a liver enzyme called glucuronal transferase that metabolizes D-limonene. Avoid direct application on cats or in poorly ventilated areas where cats reside. Keep orange oil away from open flames, as citrus oils are flammable. Honesty requires acknowledging limitations. Orange oil is effective against termites for 3 to 7 days after direct contact. If an existing infestation is not located and treated comprehensively, reinfestation can occur. The treatment works best for accessible drywood termite colonies. Massive established infestations deep inside structural walls may still require professional intervention to reach the colony core. Orange oil is considered a spot treatment. It excels when applied to areas with confirmed active infestations. But here's what the pest control industry will never tell you. Orange oil is devastatingly effective as a preventive barrier. Applied during construction or to accessible wood in existing homes, it stops termites before they ever establish colonies. And prevention is what the industry fears most, because a homeowner who prevents the problem never becomes a customer. A $5 bottle of orange oil replaces a $3,000 service call. A single weekend of work replaces a decade of annual contracts. That is not a business model. That is the death of one. The global citrus industry produces 158 million tons of fruit annually. Nearly half of that mass becomes waste. Processing facilities generate 14 million metric tons of orange peel every single year. That peel contains 92% D-limonene, a compound lethal to termites, a compound proven effective for 80 years, a compound sitting in landfills and compost heaps while homeowners hand over billions to corporations selling synthetic chemicals that require reapplication every 5 to 8 years. The research exists, published in peer-reviewed journals, conducted at major universities, funded by the Department of Agriculture. The science is not debatable. The EPA registered it. University studies from California to Florida confirmed it. The only thing standing between you and the solution is an industry that profits from your ignorance. Your grandfather might have known this. His generation solved problems without asking permission from corporations. Then, a $6 billion industry convinced an entire generation that termite control was too complicated, too dangerous, too specialized for ordinary people. They turned a $5 solution into a $5,000 problem. And they have been collecting on that LIE for decades. The orange oil is still there, still sitting on hardware store shelves, still extracted from peels thrown away by the millions of tons, still waiting for you to discover what they never wanted you to know. If this changed how you see pest control, subscribe to Garden Explained with Harry, because the next video goes even deeper.